Hello dear students, today we will take up lesson number 10 of your English practice book, which is passive voice. First of all, what is a voice? A voice is the form of verb which expresses its connection with the doer, means the subject. It makes clear whether the subject is doing something or something is done to it. We have two kinds of voice, active and passive voice. Active voice tells us what a person or thing does. And here the subject performs the action on the object. While passive voice tells us what is done to someone or something and the subject is being acted upon. Here in active voice the sentence structure would be subject plus verb plus object, while in passive voice the sentence structure would be object plus verb plus subject. Let's have more explanation about it. You can go through it by this flow chart. Active and passive voice. Voice, as we have earlier discussed, two type of voice, active and passive. Active, what subject does, while passive, the focus is on the action. Here, the example is given. In active form, Ram killed Ravan, while in passive, it will be Ravan was killed by Ram. Why? Because the focus is on the action. Moving further, the rules for changing a sentence from active to passive voice. First of all, bring the object first. Choose the correct be verb. Change verb into participle. Add by plus a subject. And remember, dear students, you will use only and only third form of verb in passive voice. And you will definitely use by with subject. Like, she helps him. He is helped by her. Now, change in pronouns. How pronouns change from active to passive voice. I changes to me, we, us, you remains you, he into him, she into her, it remains it, and they into them. Then changes in the tenses. Now, in this chart, you will see the changes in the tenses, whether they will be converted into passive voice or not. And when they are converted into passive voice, what would be the change in the sentence formation? First of all, we will take up simple present or present indefinite. Here you will use is, am or are with the third form of verb plus by, and you will change accordingly. In simple past, you will make use of was or were. In simple future, you will use will be or shall be. Then in perfect tenses, in present perfect, you will use has been or have been with the third form of the verb. In past, you will use had been, and in future perfect, you will use will have been or shall have been. In continuous form, in present continuous, you will use is, am or are with being, B-E-I-N-G. I am repeating, B-E-I-N-G. In past continuous, you will use either was or were plus being, while in future continuous, there is no change in passive, there is no passive form of future continuous tense. Similarly, there is no passive form in perfect continuous, whether present, past or future. Now, on the same basis, we'll go through these examples. First of all, simple present. He receives a letter. While what we have done in our previous slide is, am, are to be used in simple present. So what will be our passive form of he receives a letter? A letter, why? Because the subject changes to object and object changes to subject. A letter is object here in active, it will come forward. A letter, now letter is singular. A letter is received, third form of verb, and used by, he changes to him. So the passive form of he receives a letter is received by him. In present continuous, he is receiving a letter. A letter is being received by him. Past simple, he received a letter was received by him. Past continuous, he was receiving a letter was being received by him, and so on. Present perfect example is there. He has received a letter has been received by him. So, on the basis of these charts and the changes in the pronouns also, and the changes in the tenses, and with the help of these examples, try to do the worksheets of this chapter. Till then, goodbye. Take good care of yourself.